Hi everyone, this is Serverless Camp Week 3, Step 1 by Bit Project. My name is Emily and today we're going to be going over Blob Storage, how to get started, and what cloud storage even is and why we need to use it. So let's get started. This is our Week 3 Step 1 issue. It's called Blob Storage and Me. And we're going to be introducing you to storage in the cloud using Blob Storage first. And first, let's go over what Blob Storage even is. If you think about it like Google Drive is a way you can store data in the cloud. You store your files in the cloud and they're not locally on your computer. This is the same concept. We're storing blobs or kind of like files. They could be images, just like blobs. You could think of it like blocks of data in the cloud. And we're going to be using Azure. Now, Azure is simply a provider for blob storage. There are many other cloud storage providers that you could use. So do keep that in mind. We're just using Azure as a provider. AWS could have a different form of cloud storage. It's just, in this case, we're using Azure. What can you use this for? You can use it for storing files. In this case, we're going to be using it to store images. It's a great way you can upload something, like you upload a file to Google Drive, and then save it for when you need to download it later. It's a way you can store things online and retrieve it back down whenever you need to. Okay, let's get started. So I think the first thing we need to do is create a new branch. So let's go ahead and do that. I have my Visual Studio Code open. I'm just going to do git checkout-v Bunnimage. Okay, so now I've switched to a new branch. Let's go ahead and check that off. Now we're really getting into the meat of the lesson. We're going to be creating a blob storage account and container with a blob access level. So let's go ahead and do that. If you just click create a new resource, I'm going to click storage account, and there we go. Let's create that. Okay, and I'm going to do under this resource group. Try to keep your resource groups consistent throughout the entire camp. And I'm going to call it Emily's Storage Account. Very creative name. And everything else seems good. Let's review and create. And we pass the validation. Let's go ahead and click create. Okay, so now we've created our storage account. We're just going to wait for it to deploy. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So it just finished deploying. So let's go ahead and click go to resource for our next steps. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this is. This is a storage account. Think of it like a bank account. You log into your bank account, and then there might be different sections for you to put your money. I don't know. Think of that as an example. We're going to create a container within the storage account. So you can think of it like boxes too. You have the account, which is the room, and then you have boxes in the room, and those are containers, and then you have the little blobs, which are the files that go in each of the containers. So let's go back and check out what we have to do. So we've created a blob storage account, and then we need to create a container now. So very simple. All you have to do is click on containers, and I'm going to click plus container. I'm going to name it images, so it's a descriptive name. And then I'm going to click on blobs. And what you might be wondering, what does this mean? This means that anyone who has a link to my blob can access it, but they can't access my entire container. If I clicked on container access, then they would be able to read everything that's in my container. We don't want that. Usually you would probably want to set this to private, so then no one can access either your blobs or your container unless they're doing it through an outside service. But for this project's sake, we are going to use blob. But just remember, it's best practice to limit the access as much as possible. Additionally, if you're thinking about this in terms of Google Drive, if you share someone a link to your Google Doc, you might be able to change their access. You can also share a folder in Google Docs. So you can think of containers like Google Docs folders, and then the blobs inside are the files. That's another way to think about it. So let's click create. Okay, awesome. So we've completed the second step. Now we're going to create a new Azure function called Bunnimage Upload, and we're going to want to install these 3 packages. Okay, so let's go back to our VS Code. I'm going to click on the Azure extension, and then I'm going to create a new function, HTTP trigger. I'm going to call it Bunnimage Upload, and I'm going to give it to function authorization level. Perfect. So now I have this in my GitHub repo. I can go ahead and start installing my packages. So I'm going to change directory into the Bunnimage Upload function directory. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and initialize my npm packages so I can start installing them. Okay, so now I have initialized the npm file. I can now begin. The first thing I'm going to install is parse multipart. We've done this before, so it shouldn't be too complicated. I'm going to go a little faster. So we've installed that. For node fetch, I do recommend installing a specific version because we're going to be using specific syntax in JavaScript that works with the specific version. And then finally, we're going to install the Azure Storage Blob. And once again, we're going to be working with this specific version. So that you can copy paste the install command from the bottom of the file. All right, so while that's installing, let's go back and see what we have to do next. So we've done that. All right, now we want to store our Azure Blob Storage account access keys and secrets and commit our starter function template to the branch. All right, that's pretty simple. So the main confusion around these 2 things is like what the difference between them are. So we'll go over that. Let's go ahead and store these in secrets then. I think we're putting them. So we're going to be putting them in as secrets in GitHub, so the bot will be able to check whether or not you correctly created your storage container. It's going to try to upload some blobs there and see if it works. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and go to settings, and then click on secrets, actions, new repository secret. So the first one we want to put in is container name. Container name. Awesome. Let's go figure out. I forgot what I named my container as. Oh, it was images. That's simple. Okay. So the container name is going to be some images. However, our connection string is a completely different thing. And let's look at that. So it says storage account connection string. So remember we talked about the difference between account and containers. Our account is the overall overarching circle, I guess you could say, and our containers are within that circle. So this connection string is going to allow applications to connect to your account in order to access your containers. So let's add that storage account connection string, and the way you can find that is in a lot of Azure applications, all you have to do is find access keys, and you can see here it has a storage account name and it has the connection string right here. And in order to copy that, you're just going to want to click show keys. Remember, you should not show your keys to anyone. This is your private, you could say it's your private secret. You don't want anyone to see it because, once again, I would reiterate, it can be dangerous. People can get access to your account, get access to your applications, and they can use your money. All right, I'm adding that secret. Okay. And then the last thing we want to do is commit our starter template function. So I'm pretty sure it should be done installing by now. Git add, git commit. You can say add starter template. I'm going to push my changes to the Bunnimage branch. All right. Now we are going to store the connection string also in a function app configuration secret called Azure Storage Connection String. And the reason we're doing this is because later, when we're actually coding our Bunnimage upload function to upload blobs to Blob Storage, we're going to need that connection string in order to access our storage account, and therefore we need to use it to upload our images. That's the only way we're going to be able to connect with our storage container. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go over here, and you're going to want to head over to your Azure function app. All right, so I'm just going to click on home, and then I'm going to go to the function app. I'm going to click on configuration, and then you're going to want to click add new application setting. Okay, it's already there. Awesome. I shouldn't have closed out the previous tab, so let me just open that again. And right, I don't want this. Go back to storage account. Go back to access keys and show keys. I'm gonna click my connection string. All right, so I'm just gonna paste that in there, click OK. Important part here is to click save. Always click save, or else it's not gonna save. Okay, so now whenever I'm referencing that secret, the environmental variable called Azure Storage Connection String in my code, when it's deployed to the cloud into Microsoft Azure functions, my function will be able to read that secret from the application settings. Perfect. So now we just need to create a pull request that merges Bunnimage to main and merge it when the bot approves. So let me add a descriptive title. I can say I started the Bunnimage upload function. That's about it, really. And I did not close any issues. So let's go ahead and start the pull request. I'm going to wait for the bot to review it. All right, so the bot has approved our pull request and we're ready to merge. Just a quick hint, if it doesn't approve the pull request immediately, try rerunning the check again to see if it triggers the bot to approve it. Awesome, so go ahead and merge this. Your new issue should be popping up for the next step, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye.